It's the battle of the Liliana avatars. Hey everybody, Travis here. Welcome. Welcome to Tpull's Corner. Hope you had a good day. Yesterday I posted a video about my favorite cards that we were losing from the 5 expansions. They cycled out from the main place. And I got a funny idea in my head because since they were my favorites and I was looking at them, I'm like, I'm not ready to let these go yet. I could take them into Historic. And so I did. I basically took the deck I was showing you, and I had to take a couple of cards out that were like niche cards that didn't have support with anything else in the deck, which is fine because I didn't have a lot of removals. So it opened up room for me to add a couple more interaction cards. But for the most part, I was showing one copy of my favorite cards, and I kept one copy of my favorite cards, and I ended up with another 5-color deck, and we just went into Historic. And Ulamog the Defiler is already in the graveyard. I definitely need to fix my land. And this is kind of an expensive deck. I could use one of those, maybe. Alright. Obviously, we need some blue and, or some black and some white. Let's start with a swamp. And we'll just get rid of... That is a regular creature, right? Yes, okay. Let that one go away. Ouch. 7/5? So they did the warp. They bring a creature in. And what do they need to bring that out? Just the regular full casting cost so they can do it for 6 so they can bring it right in again. Okay, so we'll just do that. Oh, hello. Well, I don't know what to do about that. I mean, this is Historic. I expected people to have more staying power. Alright, let's go into the deck real quick, just in case you weren't here for yesterday's video. I just call it Rotation 2025. I had a couple of other cards in here. I had Mind Splice Apparatus, but most of my instants and sorceries are just 1, 2, or 3 mana. I don't really have a whole lot other than like Breach the Universe that I need to make cheaper, so I couldn't really justify keeping that in here. I also Walker, so I had to get rid of Urza's card, Enchantment Saga, because there's not enough support in there for that. But I was pulling out, this is Brothers Silver Scrutiny's Dominaria United, and this is Phyrexia All Will Be One. So all 5, including a couple of Aftermath cards in here, these are all gone. We just lost some from Standard, and what I did was I took out just a couple of them, and then that gave me time to put in one more Sheoldred's Edict and use Go for the Throat for my removal cards, and let me go through them just in case, because I know I got some new subscribers recently, and I'm not counting on everybody watching every video, so we'll go through real quick. Meticulous Excavation, a 1-cost enchantment. For 3, you can return a permanent you control to its owner's hand, and then just bring it back down if you want. If you got enough to cast it, otherwise you're just bringing it back up. I should say that there are a couple of cards in here that work well together, and I have certain things like Hitotsugo and Carry that work with Breach the Multiverse, but there are also, I would never have thought to put this deck together in a million years under normal situations. I would not have paired these cards up with each other. But some of them work really well together. And hopefully we'll find that out tonight. Hopefully some of the conditions will be there. Cyber Cryptomancer, 2-drop with Flash, backup 1, so I could give hexproof, and a +1/+1 counter to another creature if I wanted to, or just make it a 1/2. 2 of the Go for the Throats. One fires a victory that I can kick and draw a card with it. Tear Asunder. This I can get rid of artifacts or enchantments. If I kick it, I can get rid of any non-land permanent. I've got a board wipe here with White Sun's Twilight. If I get the X up to 5, I destroy all the other creatures, and then I get the Mites, which will poison you to death. 1 Silver Scrutiny for card draw. 1 Lorn of the Third Path to destroy a target artifact or enchantment. This I like to pair with Meticulous Excavation, just bring it back up. If my opponent's got a lot of artifacts or a lot of enchantments, I just pay 3, bring it back up into my hand, pay 3 more, bring it down, destroy something new. Metropolis Reformer, Flying Vigilance, gives me as the player hexproof, and whenever the creature itself is dealt damage, I gain life. Scroll Shift 1 copy to maybe blink a creature at instant speed, save it from removal. I draw a card as well. 1 more board wipe with Split Up to destroy either the tapped creatures or the untapped creatures. 1 copy of Blot Out to exile something, either creature or planeswalker. Render Inert, one of my favorite black cards. Remove up to 5 counters from a permanent, then draw a card. 1 copy of Realm Breaker. And since I'm in Historic, and I knew this was an expensive deck, because we're at 3.8, I booted up the lands from 24 to 28, so I've got 4 extra lands to account for the cost, and I added in Celestis along with Realm Breaker. So we'll see how that works. In a 5-color deck, I've got a 4 white cost Phyrexian Vindicator, 5/5 flyer. If damage would be dealt, you prevent the damage, and this creature can deal that much damage to any other target. I've got Fateful Handoff. I draw cards equal to the mana value of target artifact or creature. The opponent gains control of the permanent. That's on purpose to draw 5 cards and give Sulkanar the Tainted to my opponent at the right time. My 1 Planeswalker, Fire of Resistance. I can search my library for a basic mountain card, so I have 5 of those, more than any other basic land in the deck right now. Deals damage on the -3 to target creature equal to the number of mountains I control. And for the ultimate -7, you can get an emblem whenever a mountain you control enters. The emblem deals 4 damage to any target. Hidetsugu and Carry, the star of the show, 5/4 flyer. When he enters, draw 3 cards, then put 2 cards from your hand on top of the library. When it dies, exile the top card of your library. Target opponent loses life equal to its mana value. If it's an instant or sorcery, you can also cast it without paying its mana cost. We love to pair that up with Breach the Multiverse, deal 7 damage to the opponent, then do a 7-cost card for free. Have each player mill 10 cards. For each player, you choose a creature or planeswalker in that player's graveyard, and they get to go onto the battlefield. And so I just like to bring Hidetsugu and Carry back and draw 3 cards again. Nahiri's Resolve. Enchantment creatures you control have +1 to the power and have haste. Then at the beginning of your end step, you exile any number of artifacts and or creatures you control. Then you return them to the battlefield at the beginning of your next upkeep. Sulkanar the Tainted. Legendary 5/5 Elemental Demon. Has 4 things to choose from at the beginning of your end step. You choose one different one each time, and then it gets grayed out. The final one, exile Sulkanar, then return it to the battlefield under an opponent's control. We like to time it so we can give that to our opponent, and then they are the ones under the control, and I'm the opponent. So it exiles, and then it comes back under my control. Joda the Unifier, legendary human wizard. It gives Cascade, basically. All legendary creatures get +X/+X, where X is the number of legendary control. Joda counts as himself, so as soon as you put him down, he gets the bonus, so he becomes a 6/6. Whenever you cast a legendary spell from your hand, exile cards from your library until you exile a legendary non-land card with lesser mana value. So if I take a legendary artifact like Mightstone or Weakstone, it costs 5. If I cast 5, it's going to go through, maybe it finds a 4-cost legendary like Koth and puts that onto the battlefield for free. Invasion of Ravnica. When the siege enters, exile target non-land permanent an opponent controls that isn't exactly 2 colors. Whenever you cast a spell that is exactly 2 colors with the Guildpact Paragon you see to the right, you get to look at your top 6 cards of your library. And if you have one that's exactly 2 colors, you get to put that into your hand. That's not going to apply to most of these, but it's 2 colors, and Hidetsugu and Carry is 2 colors. So there are some options if we do manage to convert this. A Mightstone and Weakstone, we're usually doing -5/-5, although I will say, if I get Nahiri's Resolve down, and I keep blinking this, I can keep doing the draw 2 cards all the time. Temporal Anchor is a nice little legendary artifact. Costs 6. At the beginning of your upkeep, you get to scry 2. You usually put those cards on the bottom of your library, and you exile them from the bottom of your library. Then during your turn, you may play cards exiled with the Temporal Anchor. Looking at this card, there's something I want to try with another card, but that's an idea for another time. Phyrexian Flesh Gorger. It has Menace, Lifelink, and Ward pay life equal to this creature's power. So if you pay the 7, they're going to have to pay 7 life just to target it. Usually you pay for the prototype cost, the 3/3. Reach the Multiverse. We went over one with the Multiverse. This is an enchantment, just about as powerful as Templar Anchor. Maybe more powerful. Look at the top card of your library anytime. You may play lands and cast spells from the top of your library. And once per your turn, you can cast a spell from the top of the library without paying its mana cost. Or if it's in your hand, you can cast it for free there. I like to cast Portal to Phyrexia for free. When it enters, each opponent sacrifices 3 creatures. Then at the beginning of your upkeep, you put a creature card from a graveyard, either yours or your opponent, into the battlefield under your control. And that's pretty much it. It's all just cards from the 5 expansions we just lost in Standard. And let's go back into Historic and continue our run and see if someone will stick around for more than, a couple of removal spells. I still don't have a lot of removal spells. I've got 8 or 9 in there if you count all the board wipes. It's really not a lot. You kind of got to have a thin skin if you're going to leave just because you lost a couple of creatures. But you can see that was an Edge of Eternity's card that he warped in, so people are already testing out the new cards, or they're even bringing them into Historic. Kind of cool. And here I am playing with all my old stuff still. I'm always behind the curve. It's a free-to-play count. I got bills. I can't afford to spend frivolous money. Alright, Realm Breaker comes down. This will help me get at least some more islands, so I can afford the multi-blue enchantments and artifacts. Easy enough. Let's see. We'll bring this down now. No lands. And we managed to give them a flashback spell. Oh, way to take an extra turn after this one if you transform that creature. Let's see. I think we just get rid of this puppy now. Do we need to get rid of that to fix some mana now? I've got red and blue already. I've got 1 black. I will need 2 black or 2 white at some point. Let's just pass the turn. I don't need to power up Realm Breaker just yet. Let's see what they do. Hey, there's some lands I can get. Let's see, 3... No, so you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do this now. Take the card with flexibility. I don't have the necessary white yet, but I could get it. But I think what I'm just going to do is kick this, get rid of the crow, get my own draw card in here, and power this up yet again. Come on. And just see what kind of stuff we get. Let's take a swamp. They got a lot of lands that we've gotten rid of. They do have a deck that loves the graveyard, though, so I'm helping fuel stuff, too. So I'm going to have to be very, very careful soon. They can almost power up their Inspiration from Beyond as well. But we can go get our second white source whenever we're ready. What do they need to do to transform this? Pay 2, 4, 8 and XL8 cards. 3, 6, 7, 8. I could wait on that. Let's go ahead and make sure we're ready now. Turns out it's just another Zombify deck in Historic. And we wait, and we wait. And you know what? Let's just do it now. They're all untapped, right? You can't stop that, right? Ah. Yeah. You can have your tokens, that's fine. And then let's wait on the milling just in case they put down a bomb. We keep our mana open for blot out. When I'm impatient, I'll just start milling them anyway. What are they going to do? Zombify? They got all these legendary creatures. Look at that, they're going to zombify. I'm so surprised. What a unique, novel approach. Nobody has ever done that before. Ooh, I'm going to gain a life. Okay, what do we think they have? Let's just go for broke here. Do you have removal? Gotta pay 7. Ahaha. They do get a food token out of it. Not quite as bad as it could have been, but they can't really do much else. Well, they could still do... Oh, they're going to get their life back immediately. Never mind. If they're going to do that, we're going to mill them. These are treasures, so they can power up 3. Let's go ahead and mill them now, because this is Summoning Sickness. I can't do nothing. Gain another life. Back up to full. And then... Jonah's kind of a good hit. 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Let's just do 7. We don't need more than 7 mites. And we will continue. They're half gone now with their deck. And we are above 20 life. Living the high life. Oh, they got one. Oh, they got another one. They got another one. They got a mite. They got my 1/1. Ooh, that's legendary. If I do... It doesn't matter if they keep what they got or not. I'm going to mill them anyway. Do they like those cards? Say goodbye to those cards. Right away. First thing we do. Intertap is fine. Okay, so Joda comes in. And then they're going to exile this. And this is usually when people scoop. But if we can play the Temporal Anchor, it's going to cascade. Draw and discard. Whatever it is they have to get rid of. Good game. Solkanar. Oh, that's nice. We could have got a Sulkanar for free. We were going to kill him with poison anyway. It's not even supposed to be a poison deck, really, but we've got the one card in there. Let's go again. It looks like there's a lot of people using a lot of modern cards in Historic right now. I'm used to, when I go into Historic, I'm a little wary just because I'm limiting myself to 5 expansions only, and nobody else necessarily is invoking that kind of self-limiting principle. So here's a deck with more than 100 cards in it still, and they have access to all the cards on Arena, basically in Historic. So it's possible they could already have one up on us in one way or another. Okay, so to cast Hidetsugu and Carry, let's see. I think I'll just go ahead and play that for now. Okay, is this going to be another Zombify deck? Let me go get red. That way I can power up Fires of Victory if I feel like it's necessary. I'm mostly getting rid of land. When you're playing a deck like that, you only need 4 lands for Zombify, right? Okay, we don't need to go after anything there. That's our canary in the coal mine. So they do not have removal. And they're hitting me, which means I can swing in with Flesh Gorger, because they can't stop the menace. Another land, that's a lot of land. Okay, so if we do this, I've got the red and the blue. I need a second blue for Hidetsugu and Carry. Let's do this. No, wait. This will come back. I can just... It's better if I do this and exile it, so it doesn't turn into a land. And let's go ahead and see if we can transform that too. Yeah, they're looking at it now. We can get Nahiri's Resolve out next. We could make that a 7/7. Too late. Okay, fine. Lots of powerful cards there. Let's see. Let's just do that and this. And we're going to have Go for the Throat on top. If they kill it, then I just use the Go for the Throat on Dreadwing Scavenger. If he swings in first, I'll just let it hit me for the 3 points. Ooh. I can lose the game off of that guy. So guess which one we're going to get rid of. Oh, actually, we can get rid of that first. Because we have Fires of Victory. Yeah, we were going to get hit with that no matter what. That was unavoidable. Okay, we're going to kick this so we draw a card. 6 damage? Well, 5 damage. Okay, that's all we can do. Next, I think maybe Lorne comes down. Do we have time? They can sacrifice it unless I pay 3. I've got the 3. I should have gotten rid of the unit first. Oh, that hurts. And I don't have a second red, do I? Let's see. That's an instant or sorcery spell, though. Okay. Regular creatures are alright. They got 7 lands. I wonder how many lands they have in their deck. Probably a lot. Do you have a combat trick? Because otherwise you're gonna die. What good does that do? Why would they do that? Why would they do that? What is going on here? Counterspell? Counterspell! That's okay. Not bad. I mean, from now on, anything that they draw could be like a 7-card bomb. See, there's Ether Spark, Arbiter of Woe. These are all powerful cards. Okay, so if I do this, we'll go get our second mountain. I think one with the multiverse is good to put down here. Just swing in. Perfect. We gain some life. Cast this for free. At the end, do 3 points of damage. Get rid of that. Life is good. They drew and discarded Nightmare. Okay, I'm going to pay regular cost for this. We're going to deal 3 damage, right? 3 is all we need. We can play this land. That's a good card. I can play this for free. And then we hit them for 10. And then I draw a card. And I've got this that I can play with if they try and destroy one of my creatures. Bad Breath. When it enters, each opponent discards a card, loses 2 life, and exiles the top 3. Dang, that's a lot of stuff. Okay, so discard that card. What did we all lose? Oh, 2 lands and Phyrexian Vindicator. That's fine. These automatically go to the bottom because of Temporal Anchor, and they'll get discarded. Well, not discarded, they'll go into exile. Then we draw that. Then we get to play this for free. We can pay for that. Pay that with nothing. 0. Hit him for 10. Oh, that felt easy. They were able to dig through their deck so much, too. Nothing really that they were able to bring stuff back out of the graveyard at the moment, though. I guess that's a risk when you're playing with 120, 121 cards or whatever. Usually my experience is the opposite. Usually when people are playing with between 100 to 250 cards, they somehow have the perfect hand. They get all the land that they need, and then they're casting, 7 or 8 mana bombs on their 4th turn and crap like that. And I've got like a 2-color deck, and I don't even have the 2nd color still somehow. Another oversized deck, even more this time. Arena's like, okay, that wasn't enough. Let's throw even more cards at you. Here's 30 additional cards more. Maybe we can get you now. Or maybe they're just gonna rope me out. No? Okay. We're good to go. I've got kind of 4 different choices on how to proceed in terms of trying to fix my mana. We're going to start with blue. Because blue helps me with 2 creatures and a kick, Fires of Victory eventually. Let's go next with green. Because I only have 1 basic forest, so sometimes it can be hard for me to get to the green. No maximum hand size. That makes sense for them. Look at that. 150 cards, on curve, historic, legendary planeswalker.
Now is the time to strike.
Yes, now is the time to strike. Say goodbye.
I failed you, Oketra.
Yes, you're a failure. Bye, Basri Cat. Nice knowing you. Try again. Let's see. Missed a land drop. Okay, I think we're dead. Whenever creature control enters, each opponent. Yeah, you know what? Let's not save anything. Let's use what we got. They've already got kind of an advantage. And we missed a land drop, so we would have needed to spend that spell anyway. What do we got? 7, 6, 5, 5, 5, 5. Arena! Oh, come on, Arena. Dragons. Okay, I did finally get a 4th. I still can't cast a single spell. Just 1 more untapped land at least gives me a couple of options. I'm still at least 2 away from both of my legendary creatures. And Erebras Forge. Okay, so now I need a white land for sure. It's all pretty disgusting. Okay, we're gone. That was how many turns? I got 2 lands for the entire match. It was like 6 turns or something. Okay, Arena. You could have just had a button that said I was going to lose. That was on track. We won 3 in a row, right? So let them have their blood. Can we have a regular match now? Something that's like fair? I mean, they were building up, but they were going so slow. It was like whatever card Arena was going to digitally create for me, they're like, "Oh, he still has so much life. Let's not make it a land. Let's make it something else." Remember, 28 lands in a 60-card deck, along with 2 mana dorks. That's 30 ways that I could get land out of a 60-card deck. And they mana starved me somehow still. We're not making this up. When the people that are playing Magic, when you go to any YouTube channel and they say that it's rigged, and they say you can only win so many matches before you get starved, I've lost track of the number of videos where I don't edit those out, even though they're kind of boring. Oversized deck by at least 30 cards. What do we got? When the creature enters, you may search for Sorin Vampire Lord. Okay. Okay, fine. We do need land. We'll take the land. After the last match, right? It's not like we have much of a choice. I think I just play Silver Scrutiny now. We'll let them commit all this stuff. Draw a couple of things. No land. 3, 6, 7, 8. There's a land. I can do Nahiri's Resolve. And I'm dead in 2 turns. Two removals, it might have helped me, but no black. I've got every other color I need. And they're sitting pretty. Okay, let's see if this gets through. I'll get a card draw out of this if they let it hit. They could just kill it themselves. They don't mind that, though. And I guess we're losing Portal to Phyrexia. Because I don't think we're going to last long enough for that. 1 turn left. Well, now we're finally getting land. And they lose the 1/1. All reasonable choices for them to make. I don't know if it made any sense to get rid of that, but it was tapped, so, you know, I can do it, why not? Two, 3, 4, 5, and then 1, 2. Okay. They can't stop this from entering. They could have let that fizzle. We're going to submit 0. And you know what we're going to do? We're just going to do this now. Seems fair. Do I want to draw a card? Yes. 3, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so let's get rid of Fateful Handoff. We do have a chance here, but they might have removal as well. Let's see what happens. Oh shoot, they have pain lands. they're just gonna pain me to death in a minute. Okay, if I do this I can gain 1 life. No, I gain 1 life automatically. I like what I've got. We play that. We play 1 with the universe. I can cast this for free. Actually, I can cast this for free. I'm not expecting them to have haste. I'm not looking forward to drawing that land next turn.
And Phyrexia deserves none. I'll shake
I'm not sure what that does for them. Yeah, why not? They could have more than just pain lands. They could have spells that cost me 2 life points. It's easy enough. That's perfect. I didn't want to draw lands anyway. What else you got? You got removal for the Planeswalker? Oh, this is lovely. Okay, so first we get rid of Desperate Bloodseeker.
Catch this.
Then, a free Breach the Multiverse. I get Solkanar the Tainted. And anything I want. I could get a 6/6. Although that's not for me. Actually, let me just get Vampire Nighthawk. And I don't need to do anything else. Oh, wait. I can do this. He gets rid of Solkanar. Okay. That's fair. Take action. I don't need 2 Fabled Passages. Attack for 3. I double my life total. No, we're just going to submit 0. I can't get rid of this and bring it back because it'll go over to the owner's control. So I can never select one of their creatures. Don't need to worry about it. Just don't need to worry about it. Okay, I can play the land. Go get another mountain.
The home we lost.
Play this for free. Get some more life. And we're done. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and get rid of that. So if they have removal, it's going to have to be instant. Now it comes in with haste. Oh, they just quit. 36 life points. 36 health to 8. That's what happens when we get our land draw. I love these cards. Why did we have to have the rotation? Boundary Lands Ranger? Okay, let's do one more. That's 4 and 1. If you haven't gained any achievements for playing in the historic format yet, but you have been around a little bit, that you've been around for all 5 of these expansions, do you have these cards? If you do, I'm telling you, this is a fun deck to play. These are the cards that I liked the most out of those 5 expansions. I put them all together. I don't need 4 copies of Hidetsugu and Carry. I mean, if I was looking at these cards and I was like Portal to Phyrexia or Mightstone and Weakstone, I would be, okay, let me grab 4 of these, let me grab 4 of these, whatever, I build the deck around it. And no, just 1 of each is fine. That's all I need. I get to play with all of my favorite cards at once. Yeah, let's keep going. Let's see if we draw. I need 6 lands to start with. I don't think I'll need 9. Each opponent exiles a card from their land hand. Shoot. Let me get rid of Temporal Anchor. Is this going to be a discard deck? Because that's going to suck. We need to start building up the blue. How many cards do they have? Regular? Oh, it's going to be a discard deck. That could put a crimp in our plans. We're discarding 2. Let's see. So I guess we're losing this. And we're losing this. Actually, let me lose Fires of Victory. We'll go get the second island. And if they play discard, we play this to actually draw some more. Reveal their hand. Okay, so they'll get rid of stuff they don't want, but we'll give them 2 more choices. Non-land card, mana value 3 or less. So they get rid of Torn Asunder. I didn't have green anyway. And now they see everything I've got. Discards a card. We'll get rid of the one that costs 4 white. Yeah, let's get rid of that. And they foretold something. I wanted a land. We didn't get the land. That is a lot of discard spells, actually. Okay, I think we're dead.
Happy to help. I'm tired of your secrets.
Yeah, my deck is not configured to do well against discard. My deck is expensive. I need to build up. Okay, that's going to be long and boring. I would need to hit exactly the right stuff. Like 3 turns in a row to get something done there. Most other decks, you have more of a balance in terms of having cheap creatures that you could get down on the field. I don't have room for any of that. And they literally had discard every single turn. Since I'm 5 color, I need time to fix my colors. Or I could, you know, I could maybe make a slightly better mana base. I could tweak around with the lands a little bit more. Demolition, that's good. Yeah, let's put it down now. Don't like that card. There's too many things that I need to remove now. I guess I'll need to start though, right? So we will have to go get a swamp. It'd be better if I had 2 white sources so I could look for a board wipe. Death Touch and +1. They want to keep the bat. Let's get rid of this thing. Since it's not going to die, then we won't get another bat. They'll just exile the creature itself. Okay, we got rid of their initial army. What's next? Don't put Shieldred against me. Ugh. Every card is a threat. Okay. It looks like we need at least to get a white color in here. Throw that down while we can. We're still a little bit too far away from most of these cards. Render Inert doesn't necessarily help me in any way. And our problem is, at least one of these is probably removal. They got a bunch of death triggers. That wasn't really what I was looking for. I guess I just use this now just to draw a card. They can't use Shieldred's Edict on me. Oh, no, never mind. They've got it. They've got it handy. So the only thing I can think of is maybe mess around. I don't want to mess with the mountains, though. Okay, so we can do this. Okay, that's it. Lots of cheap creatures. They only had 5 lands. I ended up with 7 lands, and it wasn't quite the colors that I needed. Which is going to happen sometimes in this deck. If I keep this in Historic to play in Historic, I will probably take a firmer look at the mana base, and I'll switch out maybe a basic island or two. I could probably afford to do that and put something that can be all 5 colors, or pick a dual land, maybe a tap tri-land. It's kind of sad because, again, 28 lands. My Celestis and Realmbreaker aren't coming up as often as I thought they would yet. When I playtested this last night, they were making regular appearances, so to speak. Seriously, Arena. All the different lands, and that's the shuffle you did to give me your variation. This one is another kind of perfect hand. Yeah, they just got every 1, 2, 2. How much is the priest? 2, 1. Just a bunch of 1/2s. And that's really not what this deck is about. So Arena really shouldn't be putting me up against this. They get the 4th land when they need it. They have a 2-drop. Let's see, everything was 1 and 2 drops. And they gave me the removal and not a single white land. So we can go in and tweak this really quick. Just because it's starting to happen too much, that it's making my mana base seem inconsistent. So let's we'll get rid of one island, and then we'll search for a land, and we'll do any color. And sure, why not a world tree? It'll come in tapped, but a world tree instantly fixes everything if I get it. Otherwise, it does give me another green source, which is not bad. And I did make things especially hard for me. I mean, look, 4 white, 3 blue. It's a tough deck. It's not for the faint of heart. But you already saw when it pops off, it's just wonderful. Is this going to be standard life gain with the Johnny Pridemates, or are they just like guarding against mono white? Standard life gain. Kind of boring, but it can still be fast enough, right? They could still get us. Especially with that. Legendary, they get a counter each time. Nope, that's got to go to the graveyard. Way too early to get one of the most costly spells in the entire deck. When they already gave me Breach the Multiverse. Whenever you gain life. Okay, so this has to go now. Draw a card, so that's card draw as well. So if we do this, we'll go get a white. We'll go get a plains, I guess. Bring this down now. Take out the flyer. I don't have the 2 black that I need to do Breach the Multiverse. I could do Temporal Anchor, but that's too late. And I can't afford Phyrexian Vindicator. So all that's left is to destroy one of these. While everything's tapped. And we're done. We got enough lands down on the turn for the World Tree, but we kind of needed more removal up front. I don't know why they're waiting, but that's, I mean, I left it open for them to kill me, and all they did was sit there. And they could be playing that in regular. I don't know why they go into Historic with that. But why, again, why is Arena, they know what's in my deck. Why is Arena matching me up against a bunch of Swarm decks all the time? Obviously, that's not the matchup I'm looking for. That's a good card to get early. I recommend on the second turn you play land, and then cast your 2-drop. Very good. I knew you could do it. Don't care about any of this yet. And we wait. Okay. What else is coming up? Celestis is good. We'll take Celestis. So we got black, white, green, and blue. We need a red source. Okay, we're going to be half dead. But we can now afford the kicker for Fires of Victory. Ooh, nice. Would they get rid of Compound Fracture? Okay. Okay, so we get rid of the new threat. Put down our Meticulous Excavation. We'll take a card. We don't need the second mountain right now. Getting stuff anyway. There. Let's see. We don't need 2 blues. We don't need the red. Ooh, I don't think they have a removal. We have hexproof now. We're going to gain life back. They could have sorcery removal. Or they could have that. Okay, fine. Let's see. Hidetsugu and carry is perfect. And what do they have? I think a flying blocker. Yeah, we'll just put this in there. Perfect. We don't attack. Each opponent loses 2 life. You gain 2 life. That'll get rid of Savage Gorger. We don't care about any of that. We're in the driver's seat now. They can't attack with Nightmare or it dies, because I'll double block. And they know it. More land, please. No tax. Draw a card. This is perfect. Each opponent discards 2. Okay. I did the draw card thing. Why isn't it grayed out? Did I not do the... Oh, no, I did the draw too. Okay. Okay, I'm going to show you a trick. Meticulous excavation plus Hidetsugo and carry. It is glorious. I don't care about that stuff. I will just keep that. We'll just keep it. This has vigilance, so I guess we'll start pinging them. I thought I was going to get to draw a card. It didn't have it, shoot. Okay. How did I miss that? It didn't look like the draw card was grayed out. Just another big seven card bomb. Look at they're not drawing lands anymore. They're just drawing really huge cards all of a sudden. Bad deal, nightmare. Okay, so we play this. We're gonna do this again. Seriously? That's not an instant or sorcery. What would we give them? Would we give them the Celestus? I'm running out of things to give them here. Let's see. Blah, blah, blah. When it deals damage, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, I'm still good there. No attacks. End the turn. And we've got the Cryptomancer to save a targeted removal. Now you can't kill them both. And you're not getting a single point of damage through to me. Okay, but we lost Hidetsugo and carry. And we're flooding out with lands. And they just have yet another big flying creature. This is not fair. Now they can bum rush me. But I can do this. Pass, block, took 6. Got enough to mill them out. Seriously? Seriously. Okay. Let's 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. I don't have enough. I'm doing this wrong, actually. But we did get rid of Savage Gorder and Demon of Loathing. And we did get our life up. Remember, every time damage is done to the Reformer, we gain life. Okay, got rid of the Death Toucher. Okay. I'm going to start playing right. I forgot I had this. Meticulous Excavation. We can get rid of anything we want every single turn. As long as we have this combo, we're not going to transform this. Just keep hitting our opponent. They absolutely need removal to do anything against us now. Oh, look. They just got exactly what they need. What a coinky-dink. Me and my big mouth. Will they get it twice in a row? Oh, I used up all my white sources? Shoot. They don't have any white at all, do they? Did I just mill them for 3 straight lands? That's fine. Except I'm dead. I should have been doing that earlier. I messed up. You do need to keep track of your pieces. You have devastating abilities. And I completely overlooked that. But then I thought I would have some good stuff with Hidetsugu and Carry. But everything that I had, there were no instants and sorceries left that I could rely on. All I had was to keep putting lands in place. For a couple turns in a row, really. That's a couple of very big whiffs when you've got that many cards arranged against you. Alright, let me try and not mess up this time. Ooh, that's some good stuff they got there. Be ashamed if something happened to it. What do they need? 3? Pass the turn. We wait and see if they play a 3rd Snowland and activate Faceless Haven. No, they just do a legendary Planeswalker. We go and get the green.
I can teach you to fight.
Let's see, we got that. We get rid of you.
So much violence.
And we're gonna take a
Much
hit.
hate.
Are you serious?
I have been reborn.
Fine.
You shine bright, hero.
Let me start getting some blue in here, I guess. Extra blue. Do this. Exile you.
what we started.
The problem with scroll shift is it doesn't work on battles. That's the one problem. And it's from the same expansion. That's the thing that really irritates me. You can exile a target artifact, creature, or enchantment, but not the battle. The one time that you could have built a blank card that affected that, and you don't. Split up. Destroy all untapped creatures. Get rid of the mythic rare that they put out on curve 5. Arena really wants me to lose this, don't they? 2 mythic rare planeswalkers and Lyra Dawnbringer in the first 5 turns, and followed by another. This is all just mythic rares. They just want me to lose. I refuse. You better have a board wipe. No, you have a board wipe. Die by poison. 3, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so when this dies, return it to owner's hand. Put it on a creature, target angel. Okay, that's no big deal. This is perfect. What else you got for me? One with the multiverse is perfect. Let's get rid of that. Let's put this down. Let's get rid of that. Dealt to enchanted creature, saved him for a turn from poison. Down to 10, another Faceless Haven, and another really big... Okay, creatures have flying and indestructible. 3, 6, 9. Not a problem. One with the multiverse. Portal to Phyrexia. Lose a couple of creatures, please. Play the land. Attack. Now I can just bring up Invasion of Ravnica whenever I want, and you tried, but you do not win. You do not win. Didn't do Faceless Haven. But what do I want? How about that? Can I have that? Thank you. So nice. So nice. We put these at the bottom because of Temporal Anchor. We get immediate access to them. Draw a regular card. Play our land. Get rid of the other land. And at 6 life, we've now reached the lovely part of the game. The part where we love and the enemy hates. What part is it? The part where we just play with ourselves. I don't care how many times they swarm us. I don't care how many times they mana starve me. The cards are great. When they work, it's like Uber mode. You can look at the mana base. It's possible that it's still not perfect. It's better. If I want to keep Koth in there, I really need 5 basic mountains. And because we have Temporal Anchor and one with Multiverse, I really need at least 3 islands. And since we have Phyrexian Vindicator, I do need at least 3 planes. So, and it's because of Vindicator that I have Rafine's Tower as my choice for 3 of the streets in New Capenna lands. I've got another option for green here with Jetmir's Garden. but you can see I've got an endlessly recyclable removal, right? With Meticulous Excavation, I can do -5/-5, or I can do draw 2 cards every turn. If I get that out, I can do... let's see, where is it? I can do Lorna the Third Path, get rid of any target artifact or enchantments all the time. If I've got the Cryptomancer, I can give Hexproof and save Lauren, and then still bring it back up and flash it out again. I can permanently recycle Hexproof for my creatures. That's not even talking about what I can do with Nahiri's Resolve and something like Hidetsugu and Carry, or Nahiri's Resolve and Mightstone and Weakstone. We didn't even get to Nahiri's Resolve and Portal to Phyrexia. And then you saw what happens with Temporal Anchor. You scry 2 to the bottom if they're 2 spells, and you can play lands off the top, especially if I get these two together, one with the Multiverse and Temporal Anchor. That's Uber mode activated, right? I just automatically put 2 things on the bottom. If the next card is a land, I play the land. What are the odds that I'm going to have 2 or 3 good spells to play in that turn, and one of them's going to be free? You just can't beat that. Silver Scrutiny, I haven't... I think I've drawn 5 cards with it at one time. So sometimes I'm mostly drawing just like 1, 2, or 3, and that's usually when I'm digging for land. But you know, that you do what you have to. The Celestis was an excellent idea to add to this deck. You can cycle through your deck. You can gain some much needed life. But you see, I've got ways to get the land out, even though I went up to 28 lands. I can dig through it with Celestis. I can get lands from the opponent. I can get extra mountains via Koth. You know, there's ways. I don't stay... If you're worried about doing 5-card decks, you did see some of the problems that I had for a couple of games in a row. Don't let that discourage you. Once you learn how to manipulate the rhythms of these 3 cards with your 28 lands, I consider this to mostly be 30-land deck with these 2 cards in there. It works out pretty nice. I did mess up on Solkner the Tainted, but that's because when I was right-clicking on the card, the draw card wasn't grayed out, even though I thought I had done it. And then I'm like, okay, so if it's not grayed out, do I have that option somehow this turn? And I was not paying close enough attention to what happened with that. If I'd done that right, I could have given the Fateful Handoff, drawn 5 cards, and still got Solkanar back. So that was my mess up. It's been so long since I practiced that. There was also the idea that maybe if you need to, if I have Fateful Handoff, I could give them something like a if the immediate card draw is really important for my survival. So there is that idea. If you've got a lot of energy, that you can pay the 4 and then draw 3 cards and still know that you have something that you can do with remaining energy that might be meaningful to survive. There's maybe you have a Mightstone and Weakstone and give them that, and you get an emergency 5-card draw real quick. So this is kind of a break glass in case of emergency kind of card as well. You could even give them a Portal to Phyrexia if you had this out and things still weren't going your way somehow. You could give them that, draw 9 cards, right? Maybe one of the cards that you get is Terra Sunder, right? And just get rid of it. There's maybe you draw Lorna the Third Path and get rid of it. So there's all sorts of neat options. I literally run out. I could go on forever describing all the different things that you can do with the different combinations of this. I mean, just thinking of even if you don't get Meticulous Excavation down, Scroll Shift can do some of the same things with Portal to Phyrexia, with Mightstone and Weakstone, with Cybo Cryptomancer. There's a lot of just replicability, and I'm just loving it. I'm going to keep playing with this. This is perfect. I can go ahead and just go into the historic format whenever I want. Go ahead and earn those achievements over time with just playing in the format. I'm enjoying this deck, so I've got at least one good deck, not to mention all my older historic decks that I still like. But it also allows me to sort of enjoy the best of the 5 expansions we just lost. And again, if we hadn't had rotation, and I hadn't been just staring here looking at my favorite cards, I never would have thought to do something like this. So glad I did. This is like a very fun deck for me. Somebody take this out for a spin. Let me know if you try it, how it works for you, if you like it, if anybody's enjoying this as nearly as much as I am. And as always, we ask you to like and subscribe. And so for now, I will just say